For generations, we were handed a script for manhood, a predefined role, a set of expectations passed down through families and communities. This script often dictated how we should behave, what we should value, and even how we should feel. It was a blueprint for becoming a man, according to societal norms. Be tough, be stoic, never show weakness. These were the cornerstones of this traditional definition. Men were expected to be pillars of strength, unwavering in the face of adversity, and emotionally impenetrable. Any display of vulnerability was seen as a sign of failure, a crack in the armor of masculinity. We learned to hide our fears and feelings, to bury them deep within, afraid of judgment or ridicule. The pressure to conform to this ideal often led to a suppression of genuine emotions, creating a barrier between ourselves and our true selves. Behind a mask, a carefully constructed facade designed to project an image of unwavering strength and control. This mask became a shield, protecting us from perceived threats, but also isolating us from genuine connection. Believing strength meant silence. We equated emotional restraint with resilience, assuming that vulnerability was a weakness to be avoided at all costs. This silence, however, often came at the expense of our mental and emotional well-being. This man box defined us by our ability to provide, to be the breadwinner, the financial support for our families. Our worth was often measured by our earning potential and our ability to accumulate wealth. Protect, to be the physical guardian, the defender of our loved ones. We were expected to be strong and capable, ready to confront any threat that might come our way, and suppress emotion, to bottle up our feelings, to avoid any display of vulnerability, to maintain a stoic facade at all times. This suppression, however, often led to internal conflict and a disconnect from our own humanity. But what happens when the mask becomes too heavy? When the weight of expectations becomes unbearable? When the constant pressure to conform to this rigid ideal begins to crack the foundation of our being? When silence isolates us? When the inability to express our true feelings leads to a sense of loneliness and disconnection? When we find ourselves surrounded by people, yet feeling utterly alone? The old model left no room for vulnerability, no space for emotional expression, no allowance for the full spectrum of human experience. It confined us within narrow boundaries, limiting our potential for growth and connection, or asking for help. Seeking assistance was often seen as a sign of weakness, a betrayal of the masculine ideal. This reluctance to ask for help could lead to prolonged suffering and a deepening sense of isolation. We confused emotional suppression with strength, mistaking the ability to bury our feelings for genuine resilience. We believed that by avoiding vulnerability, we were somehow becoming stronger, more capable men, cutting ourselves off from connection and empathy. By suppressing our emotions, we inadvertently created a barrier between ourselves and others, hindering our ability to form meaningful relationships and experience genuine connection. True strength isn't about hiding. It's not about suppressing our emotions or conforming to rigid expectations. It's about embracing our vulnerability, acknowledging our fears, and allowing ourselves to be seen as we truly are. It's about being real. It's about authenticity, about living in alignment with our values and embracing our true selves, flaws and all. It's time to question the script, to challenge the traditional notions of masculinity that have been imposed upon us for generations. It's time to rewrite the narrative and create a new definition of manhood that is more inclusive, more compassionate, and more authentic. And look behind the mask, to confront the fears and insecurities that we have been hiding for so long, to embrace our vulnerability and allow ourselves to be seen as we truly are, without pretense or artifice. The journey to authentic masculinity begins with honesty, with a willingness to confront our own biases and limitations, to acknowledge our vulnerabilities, and to embrace the full spectrum of our emotions, with ourselves and each other. It's about building genuine connections based on trust, empathy, and mutual respect. It's about creating a community where men feel safe to be vulnerable, to share their struggles, and to support one another on the path to authentic manhood. Suppressing emotions doesn't make them disappear, it builds pressure inside. The silence we were taught to embrace breeds isolation and loneliness. We retreat, believing asking for help is failure, while inside we're falling apart. This self-imposed solitude disconnects us from those who care most. The stress of maintaining a facade wears down our minds and bodies, leading to burnout and unhealthy coping. The armor we wear suffocates us, not protects us. Emotional distance keeps love and real friendship at arm's length. We're present physically but emotionally miles away. Silence isn't strength, it's a cage. It's time to find the courage to break free. Vulnerability was once seen as weakness, a flaw in character, something to be hidden away from the world. It was perceived as a chink in the armor, an opening for others to exploit. We were taught to build walls, to guard our emotions, and to present a facade of unwavering strength. This outdated perspective painted vulnerability as a liability, a trait to be suppressed at all costs. But now we know it's the heart of true strength. It's the foundation upon which genuine connections are built, the catalyst for personal growth, and the key to unlocking our full potential. Embracing vulnerability allows us to tap into a wellspring of resilience, empathy, and authenticity. It's about daring to show up as our true selves, imperfections and all. Real courage is dropping the mask, shedding the pretense, and allowing ourselves to be seen for who we truly are. It's about dismantling the barriers we've erected around our hearts and embracing the discomfort of authenticity. And being honest about our struggles, acknowledging our pain, our fears, and our insecurities is not a sign of defeat, but rather a testament to our humanity. It's through these shared experiences that we connect with others on a deeper level and find solace in knowing that we are not alone. The strongest people aren't those who never falter, who never stumble, or who never experience moments of doubt, but those who admit when they need help. Recognizing our limitations and seeking support from others is a sign of strength, not weakness. It demonstrates self-awareness, humility, and a willingness to learn and grow. Vulnerability isn't oversharing, a reckless outpouring of every thought and feeling. It's emotional honesty and self-awareness. It's about discerning who we can trust with our innermost thoughts and feelings and creating safe spaces for authentic connection. It's about being mindful of our boundaries and communicating them clearly. Opening up draws people closer, fostering empathy, understanding, and mutual respect. Creating space for genuine connection. It allows us to build deeper, more meaningful relationships based on trust and authenticity. We must unlearn the old man-up mentality, the outdated notion that suppressing emotions is a sign of strength, and see emotions as valuable signals. They provide us with important information about our needs, our values, and our relationships. Learning to listen to our emotions rather than suppressing them can lead to greater self-awareness and well-being. Embracing vulnerability means choosing courage over comfort. It means stepping outside of our comfort zones and taking risks, even when we're afraid. It's the birthplace of growth, the fertile ground where new possibilities take root, creativity, and real change. It's the catalyst that allows us to break free from limiting beliefs and create a life that is aligned with our values and our purpose. When we allow ourselves to be seen, when we dare to show up as our authentic selves, we unlock personal power and freedom. We break free from the shackles of self-doubt and embrace our true potential. Surrendering the armor isn't a sign of brokenness. It's not an admission of defeat or a display of weakness. It's a sign of wholeness. It's an act of self-acceptance, a recognition that we are enough, just as we are. The new strength is found in the courage to be authentic, to embrace our vulnerabilities, and to connect with others from a place of genuine honesty. It's about living a life that is true to ourselves, regardless of what others may think or say. Embracing our emotions unlocks empathy, the ability to connect deeply with others. Emotional intelligence is now recognized as a vital strength for men. It's about listening to understand, not just to respond. Active listening means giving your full attention and creating a safe space for others to share. Empathy builds bridges, not walls. Instead of offering quick fixes, validate feelings and show support. This connection strengthens friendships, partnerships, and communities. Developing emotional awareness is a skill. Practice by checking in with your own feelings. The emotionally intelligent man is more fully human, building resilient, supportive relationships. True masculinity includes compassion and connection. We once thought resilience meant being unbreakable, but true resilience is flexibility. Like bamboo, Real strength is the ability to bend, adapt, and grow through challenges. A growth mindset transforms setbacks into opportunities for learning. Adaptability is key. Embrace change, learn new skills, and evolve. The adaptable man sees change as an invitation, not a threat. Resilience is about bouncing forward, not just back. Integrate your experiences to gain wisdom and empathy. Strength isn't a clenched fist, but an open heart and flexible mind. Navigate life's journey with grace, not just endurance. Masculinity used to be measured by financial success, but now it's about impact and support. Mentorship is powerful. Being a positive role model in everyday life. It's guiding a colleague, teaching your kids kindness, or listening to a friend in need. Community involvement, showing up, volunteering, being a good neighbor, builds a stronger social fabric. True strength is found in interdependence, not just independence. Presence matters. Your support, wisdom, and time are invaluable. Redefining success means valuing relationships and positive impact. This is a richer, more fulfilling vision of masculinity. Masculinity isn't one size fits all. There's no single right way to be a man. Authentic masculinity is about discovering who you are and living that truth. Give yourself permission to be unique, with your own strengths and sensitivities. Question the rules you've inherited. Do they make you feel whole or confined? You can be strong and gentle, ambitious and nurturing. Celebrate the diversity of masculine expression. Authenticity is the new benchmark. Align your actions with your values. Explore your interests, even if they break the mold. Reclaim masculinity as your own, not a stereotype. The freedom to be yourself is the greatest strength. Authenticity isn't a destination. It's a lifelong journey of growth. You're never stuck. You can always choose to learn, change, and evolve. Growth requires humility and curiosity. Be open to new ideas and feedback. Face your shadows with courage. That's where the deepest growth happens. Integrate all parts of yourself to become more whole and self-aware. Be patient. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Celebrate small wins and the courage to keep going. The journey of self-discovery is the greatest adventure. Embrace it with an open heart and a commitment to growth. Keep becoming more of who you're meant to be. We've explored the weight of the old mask, the expectations and limitations it places upon us. We've seen how it can stifle our true selves, forcing us into molds that don't quite fit. It's a heavy burden to carry, this outdated idea of what it means to be a man, and the power of authentic strength. We've touched upon the resilience that comes from embracing vulnerability, the courage it takes to stand tall in your own truth, and the quiet confidence that radiates from a man who knows himself. This is not about brute force, but inner fortitude. But reading is just the start. Absorbing knowledge, reflecting on ideas, these are crucial first steps. Living it is what matters. Taking those lessons and applying them to your life, putting them into action, that's where the real transformation happens. It's about embodying the principles you believe in and day out. The next chapter is yours to write. It's a blank canvas, waiting for your unique story to unfold. What kind of man do you want to be? What values will guide your actions? Take one small step. Start a conversation, reflect on your own experiences, challenge your assumptions, and be open to new perspectives. Or question the old rules, the outdated norms that no longer serve you or society. Dare to challenge the status quo and forge your own path. The power to define masculinity is within you. It's not something dictated by society, but something you create for yourself, based on your own values and beliefs. Seek out resources and communities that support this journey. Find those who resonate with your values, who can offer guidance and encouragement along the way. You're not alone. There's a global movement for healthier masculinity. Men all over the world are questioning traditional norms and seeking a more balanced and fulfilling way to be. Connect, learn, and share your story. Your experiences, your struggles, and your triumphs can inspire others and contribute to the collective understanding of what it means to be a man in the 21st century. Don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. You don't need anyone's approval to be the man you want to be. Embrace your authentic self and live your truth. Define your own success and live by your values. Let your actions be guided by compassion, integrity, and a commitment to making the world a better place. The world needs men who are strong, compassionate, and authentic. Men who are willing to challenge the status quo, embrace vulnerability, and lead with empathy. The journey starts now. What will your definition of masculinity be? What kind of legacy will you leave behind? The choice is yours.